My deadbeat father wants me to marry his 53-year-old friend, so I left. He had a meltdown and revealed a shocking truth. I am the youngest of 5 kids. My parents are heavily religious and we live in Utah. Growing up, everything had to be done perfectly. It didn't matter if it was grades, looks, social activities, or even friends. I'm different from my siblings as I was never interested in math and science like they were. I've always been a writer, a painter. I remember once when I was 13, I made a painting of a dove in a snowy field and won first in a competition. I told my parents, who got angry that I had wasted my time with something so worthless when I should have been using the time to study. I still had A's in every class. My mother won't even say more than a few words to me. She always seems like she hates me and I don't understand. Father burned the painting to remind me of what was truly important before taking all of my art supplies until I showed more responsibility with my time. It's been like this for as long as I can remember. I work full-time and have since I was 15 at McDonald's, dashing every bit of money I could. Father took half my checks as tithing to help teach me what being an adult was like. I applied to several colleges but was told by my parents that they would not be helping me with tuition as they did for my siblings because they thought sending me to college would just be a waste of money. So I got angry. I am so tired of being the black sheep just because I like the arts more than math and science. And then, I heard them talking when I got up in the middle of the night about the perfect man they'd found who was willing to take me in. Through our church. I was terrified, and so I left. My best friend helped me book a flight and I went to a different country. I did not attempt to contact them or leave a message. I blocked them and everything, but I forgot to block them on my email. As I was trying to retrieve some document there, I saw some of the messages and I instantly logged out. I don't want to be reminded of my life there. 5 months passed and I finally opened the emails, deciding it was best to probably get it over with. My father's email was filled with anger. There is no other way to put it. He said that taking off irresponsibly like I did cost them the friendship of someone they'd planned on introducing to me. He never admitted that it was the 53-year-old they'd basically sold me to. Father stated that because of the social relations that had been damaged and impacted by my actions, I owe them approximately $85,000 in reparations. He also claims that he will be taking me to court if I don't pay it in full within 30 days and return home, as I obviously cannot be trusted. I plan to ignore that as I believe him to be bluffing. He ended his email with, "You belong to me, and I won't tolerate such defiance when we've put a roof over your head and taken care of you for your entire life. You were never the child we expected. It's time you make up for your deficiencies. I expect you home within the next 2 weeks." My siblings were copies of my father's email, admonishing me for throwing the efforts of our parents in their faces before running off like a coward unwilling to face the fallout of my actions. I skimmed them honestly, before just deleting them. It's nothing I didn't expect. However, my sister-in-law, who's married to my eldest brother, sent her own email before asking me not to reply as she would be deleting every sign she sent from her end. She congratulated me on stepping out on my own and getting away from my parents and their demands. She said that she herself hadn't been strong-willed enough to stand up to her parents when they basically betrothed her to my brother. This makes sense as I remember that they met and then married within 6 months, and even then I thought that was a bit strange. She pleaded with me not to return, and not to reply. That was it. It was a bit unnerving honestly, as I do believe her, and I'm sad that she is stuck the way she is. I haven't replied to the emails, but I have saved printed copies and laminated them just in case. They've made several phone calls to my friend who had fun with them. The first time your father called, yelling that I handed you over, I pretended to be cowed and gave him your location. It took him to a club. He came back screaming at how I had embarrassed him. I just hung up on him honestly. She did that each time they called, giving a different location each time. Her favorite was sending my parents to a nudist retreat. My mother passed out apparently. My friend is looking to move and eventually plans to join me but will jump around a bit so that they don't follow her to me. The biggest revelation came after my father. Well, he had a meltdown apparently after I never responded to him. He got into a fight with my mother in church, and many things were said. Among those, according to several, my mother had cheated on my father, which, well, led to me, which is why she never liked me I guess, as I just reminded her of her mistakes. My father took her back in spite of that, but well, there it is. It caused a big stir in the ward, and meetings were held though I obviously don't know what was said or done. I may never know honestly.